abahle abadela amakhaza kubanda kanje eminyango abanye kade besho ukuthi hayi sengiyoyibamba kulayini Nkosi yami ngeke akuvukeki ngibabona bebhala ku Facebook athi umunye ubani ovukayo guys mina sengiyoyibamba kulayini but you guys are here. Thank you so much. We appreciate you so much. Sissy, please tell me when we start rolling so that I know. Are we rolling already? Are we live? Oh, okay, officially then. Thank you so much. Good day, and thank you for taking time to come today to this very, very special edition of Woman to Woman 2021. You know that previously without COVID, we would have been 1,000 people, women in one room screaming and shouting and having fun. But obviously with COVID, we had to take down our numbers. Nevertheless, we want to start by saluting and thanking the Playhouse Company for affording us this opportunity to be here today. Sislinda Bokosini, the CEO, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You are a woman of note. You are a virtuous woman. We don't normally appreciate, we take it for granted many times, but for you to open up the space, the Playhouse Women's Festival has always been one of the highlights for the Women's Month calendar in KZN, and for that we really, really salute you and we thank you for allowing us to be part of this today. Now, ladies that are here, thank you so much. I also want to welcome all the ladies that are joining us online, watching from wherever you are today. We really appreciate you. Please do us a favor right now. Share this. Tell another friend to tell another friend that it's on. They cannot afford to miss this amazing opportunity. Now, my name is Zanele Mbokazi Nkambule. I am Mrs. Nkambule. Angijwayele ukuthi Mrs. Nkambule. Nkosi yami. Mrs. Nkambule. Umama Nkambule bakithi. Mrs. Nkambule. With me, I have amazing, amazing ladies. These are powerhouses. These ladies that are with me today, who are going to be helping me in sharing this very, very important topic that we're going to be discussing. On my far left, I've got unebhesi yabo labo sisaba nebhesi abathi mebengena endlini kuzwakale ukuthi sebengenile. She is Mtshali Thobe Mtshali, and she is a construction guru. She is in the construction sector. Yes, she does other things. She is also a humanitarian in her own right. She's got other projects that she's doing, but mainly her sector is construction, and she will be telling us about that today. And then on my left, I have a friend of mine. We've been working together for a very long time. My goodness, it's been years. I have admired this lady for a very long time because of her tenacity, but she is extremely humble. One of those people, if she was not here, I was going to say, you know, when you've made it in life, but you remain so humble. So humble. But two, a woman who does not shy away from calling other women and saying, what about this? Can we do this? And show other women the light and be willing to open doors and assist other women. I'm one of those women. So I really, really want to appreciate Esay Reddy, who is the CEO of KZN Oils, a very big oil company. Yeah. Thank you, Esay. And on my right, my goodness, her voice is on the airwaves every day, from Monday to Friday. She used to be on Gagasi FM, and now she is on Vuma FM. She is opinionated. She's always fighting with people on Facebook who say to her, shut up, Jacinta, you shouldn't be saying that. And she will stand her ground and say, but this is my opinion. She knows who she is, and she's also the founder and the producer of a very beautiful festival called One, and she is on radio, an award-winning radio presenter, Jacinta Ngobese. Now, my name is Zanele. I have said that. In terms of what I do, a lot of you know me from projects, You know me from Crown Gospel Awards, you know me from Celebrate Africa Carnival, but my business is in PR, marketing and events. But for the past 3 years, I have formalized what I've always loved doing, and I've introduced myself. If you ask me what I do now, I first say I'm a speaker and a coach, because that is what I love. The other things I do them for money, but speaking and coaching is what is in my heart. I coach in 3 things: relationships, personal development, your goals, your confidence, your knowing who you are, and lastly, money. Money will be entrepreneurship, will be creating wealth, partly what we're talking about today. So 3 things. It's personal development. If you don't know who you are, you're not going to have good relationships. If you don't have good relationships, you're also going to struggle with money issues. So those are the 3 things. But otherwise, I am a businesswoman. I'm involved in training, and I'm involved in agriculture. So thank you once again for being here. Now, today we're talking about 2 themes, and we deliberately decided to bring them together. We're going to be talking about self-worth. We're talking about something that is so important for us as women. When a woman walks into a boardroom, it's either the people that are there are going to feel her presence just by walking in, her light is going to shine through, or people are going to start talking and whispering, or people are going to be intimidated, or even angry before she even opens her mouth. Now, self-worth is very important. A lot of people will measure self-worth based on what they have, based on the people that they associate with, but we want to tackle that. What is self-worth? Why are we talking about this? Because a lot of women cannot achieve their goals and reach their destinies simply because they doubt themselves. They are not sure of who they are. And that brings me to the second theme for today, which is women creating wealth. If you do not know who you are, you're not confident enough, and you don't know your self-worth, then you're not going to create wealth, because you will always be doubting yourself. So ladies, those are the 2 themes that we are talking about today. Asenzeni imali mantombazana. Imali sheleda iyafuneka. Asenzeni imali ngingedwa yini bakithi? Okay. So in a nutshell, that is what we are talking about today. So if you are at home, please do share. Tell your auntie who's been playing a stokvel for the past 20 years, but she still doesn't have money, she's still in debt. Please tell her that we are on. Invite her to come on board. Tell your friend who lacks self-confidence, who is not sure of herself. You know, sometimes she is even sabotaging herself. Please tell them to join us and tell them that we are on. Ladies, I have said, given the introduction, the stage is yours now. You know, I want to start with you, Esay. Our upbringing, our socialization, our grooming when we grow up, sometimes has a very big impact on who we become when we are older, in terms of knowing who we are, but also even in terms of our relationship with money and wealth. Would you agree with me?
Absolutely. So good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, all these beautiful ladies out there. It is an absolute honor to sit down and talk to all of you all today. And thank you, Zanele, for inviting me. So I believe that, let me introduce myself. My name's Esay Reddy. I was the CEO of KZN Oils for 4 years. Unexpectedly, I then became the executive chairman of the RR group. That was really unexpected. I lost my husband 7 months ago. I wanted to tell you today that before I could come here, I had to do his, as in our religion, we honor him for a year until his 1-year ceremony. And every 3rd or odd month, we do a prayer just to honor him. And today was his 7th month prayer. So I had to get up early, I had to do that prayer, and then I needed to be here to talk to you, to let you know that self-wealth is what you make of it. It's who you are and what you can achieve. So having said that, Zanele, we as women, I believe we can do anything. Do your prayer, see to your household, put on your big man shoes and go and work in the trenches and you can do anything. I work in the petrochemical engineering sector. So this company, our company, KZN Oils, which is the main company, distributes fuel and lubes throughout the country, mainly in KZN. And should you need any more or want to know any more questions and how we're doing that, please be free to ask. I will let you know. Thank you.
Just on that, when you say fuel and oil and lubes, some people it goes like this. Tina, we know petrol,
Yes.
not diesel. Right? Now you understand. So you are supplying amagaraji
Correct. Correct.
with
So-
petrol, diesel, and oil.
Correct.
Am I
100%.
right? Am I simplifying it?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
I think sometimes because we feel everybody knows
Yes.
this energy sector,
Yes.
you know, you take it for granted. But Zanele is absolutely correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we supply oil to service stations. We supply diesel, most diesel, that is quite a lot of fuel. And then, of course, we supply ULP, which is petrol. And we supply to 37 service stations in the north of KZN. We also have a lot of parastatals that we supply to in the government sector, and that is on the commercial side. So we have two sectors. We have a retail sector, commercial sector, and we can go on. So let's give all the other ladies a chance.
Okay.
Thank you for now.
I think she's the right person to talk to us about money and wealth today. I mean, when you talk about 37 service stations, I'm a garage out 37 about our supplier. I'm sure there is a lady sitting here who wants to say, how do I apply and own my own service station? So, yeah, thank you so much. Thobe, you are in the construction sector. You are a guru in the construction sector. Thobe, when she walks outside and she see it rain or istini, she doesn't see istini bonimali, shelete. Talk to the ladies today. A little bit about yourself, but also on the issue of self-worth.
I like that, Mazet, because when I see a challenge, when I see money. Thank you very much, guys, for an opportunity. Having us this morning is such an honor. Siyabonga kakhulu. For the interest of time, let me stick to the point. Thobe is a woman in the built industry. I know people tend to say, hey, Thobe, you are so deceiving. If I look at you, I can't tell you survived because of mud and mess and not that. It's true. I make a living out of bricks and mud and cement. I own a construction company, a grade 7 GP PE construction company and a 6 CE construction company. GP stands for General Building, CE stands for Civil Engineering. So yes, somehow I realized that the sky is the limit these days. There is no career that is limited only for males. I felt that it's high time that we prove our worth, and it's high time that we prove our capability as women and partake in these rare career spaces. Construction is one of them. It's such a male-dominated industry, which is a hardcore space. But you know, women are perfectionists. Women are developers. Women are creators. So whenever we arrived at Tina, we take over. So I came into a male industry. 2017, I was acknowledged as the best woman in construction in the province of KZN. And last year, I'll just highlight a few awards that really moved my heart. Among many that one has achieved. Last year, I got the one which was a national award for Project Delivery of the Year with Cidp. Everyone will know who Cidp is. But what was significant about it, I won it, I was in Johannesburg, and I was thinking, hey, but I'm hitting them in their own province. So, because when I'm a KZN baby, and I'm a proud KZN child, so it's such an amazing space, it's such an innovative space, because yabona njengoba nina nikhalela this unrest, tina we see job opportunities because we'll fix all this mess. And we'll make money.
Oh my goodness, Thobe, I have to come in there because, you know, when I was doing my honors in PR, I always talk about this Professor Jansen. He used to say in the PR class, don't ever waste a good crisis. Don't ever waste a good crisis. So that's exactly what you're saying.
That's exactly. Remember, in business, you'll make it only if you can see opportunities. You must identify opportunities even in the crisis. Because as a business person or as a true entrepreneur, you bring solutions. Few of the fundamentals of success is moving away from money, because money is not everything. But being able to partake in the transformation that is needed by the society. Being able to bring tangible solutions, being able to be informed of the problems that the society is facing, and dare yourselves to come up and strategize and plan, how can you bring radical change in those circumstances? Automatically, that will give you what? Money. So I think once we think like that, be solution-orientated, being outcome-based thinkers, be innovative thinkers and leaders, we will not struggle. There's one thing, since Zanele is touching base about the fundamentals or the principles that we subscribe to. I'm one person who subscribes to Christianity. So the verses I subscribe to, one of them, I remember that Solomon asked God, when God asked him, what do you want? He said, don't want money, I want wisdom. You know, being an entrepreneur, that's one thing we need to pray on a day-to-day basis. Wisdom. It's only wisdom that will sustain your business. Because for the fact that this door is closed, that doesn't mean all the other doors are closed. But you need the wisdom to see the doors that are open. I thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Jacinta, you are the young one here. And when I introduced you, I said that I just love that you know what you stand for and you go for it. You're never scared to go for what you want. But Jacinta, a lot of young people, when we think of our young stars today, issues of self-esteem, self-confidence, I don't even want to start talking about wealth because naziwa njengama gold diggers. You know, you're only looking for men rich abazonikeza imali, and you are not thinking about creating your own wealth is the last thing on your mind. Is that true?
Thank you for the opportunity, Sanbonani. I'm truly honored and overwhelmed to be sharing a panel with such wonderful women. And as Usis Mazet has already said, I'm the young one. I don't feel young because sometimes I feel like I'm far older than my age. Just getting back to the introduction, let me just introduce myself. I'm a young lady, born in Eshowe, grew up KwaMashu. I have been in media since I was 18 years old. I started radio, UKZN radio. I went to Vibe FM, went to Inanda FM, went to Kakasi FM, went to Vuma FM. And in all these spaces, I've made sure that I leave my name behind. I have won national award as the best commercial radio producer in the country. I've won, thank you. I've won an award as the leading woman in media in KZN, leading woman radio presenter last year in KZN. And yeah, many other small recognitions that I've received from KwaMashu as well. I run a company which is an events company. I'm part of a organization of 6 women where we go out into the community. We build parks for children. We convert dumping sites into places where people can use those open spaces as parks and children can play. I also have my own NPO, which is called New Generation Youth Organization, where I do a lot of giving back to the community. And also I have an event, as Usisma said, called the We Are One Festival. The whole idea started in 2015, where, because I'm very proud and fond of Umashu, I realize there's a lot of things that young people don't have access to. And there's so much that we've done as a community, but it doesn't go recognized because of things like and then, you know, it ends up overcrowding every single thing. But we've done such amazing things. When you look at sports, we've got people, Onomvete. When you look at music, we've got musicians, When you look at theater, we've got Edmund Hlongo, we've got a K-Cab. When you look at television, we've got even Onomzamo doing it internationally. Umashu is rich in so many things, but it never gets highlighted because everyone is so focused on the negative. So mine was to change the narrative of ilogishu to say, ukuthi, listen, when you say umashu, don't automatically think crime. Think of all of these beautiful things that we've brought into the country. Think of all these amazing exports and products that come from umashu. And as a young person, it was never easy, but that was what the message was. And also, the event was looking at solidifying social cohesion as well between Phoenix, KwaMashu, in New Lands, because of the Group Areas Act before, we were told that black people must live here, Indian people must live here, colored people must live there. But we're in a few meters of each other, but we never do anything together. There was no sports, there was no music, there was nothing. So the We Are One Festival was basically bringing everyone together to say, if you're Indian, if you're black, if you're colored, come, let's enjoy music together, let's enjoy sports together. And that's what the event was all about. And unfortunately, it came to a pause because of COVID-19, but it had been doing very well for about 4 or 5 years. And then comes the unrest that we have right now, where people in Phoenix are fighting with each other. And it's been something that's boiling under. It's just that unfortunately, izintezama issues don't really get as much recognition as things that is put as manje. You know, if something were to happen manje, everyone would jump. But we lose sight of the things that build us as communities and things that are the backbone of who we are. And for me, I feel like the topic of self-worth is the one that really touches me the most, because there's a lot of people walking around, but if you ask them to really sit down and reflect on who they are, they don't know. And a lot of us, I struggled with knowing who I was. And I only discovered this when I got to Ikakasi and there was a mamgo before me. And when there's a mamgo before me, she's built a name for herself. She's big. And then social media starts saying, listen, we don't want you. Lomlunguba, sifunu mamgo. And then you start asking yourself, okay, I'm here. I'm supposed to be delivering or replacing this person. So who do I become? Do I now become mamgo? Or do I become myself, the same self that nobody wants? For a couple of weeks, I struggled with it. I won't lie, because I found myself trying to sound like Mam Go sometimes. I found myself trying to have her wisdom and her presence, and I failed dismally. That's when I realized that I can't be anybody else but me. I can't please everyone. It's just impossible. And I think it was then that I learned to stand firm in who I am. There's not a day that goes by that I don't recognize my faults, because I'm not perfect, I'm human as well. So sometimes I'd sit back and reflect and say, okay, Jacinta, you could have said that better, you could have done that better, you could have done this better. But not a day goes by without me saying, well done, you did this very well, you did that very well. And how did you touch someone's life? Because for me, I think so many of us are living for ourselves that would defeat the purpose of humanity. Because we're here as human beings. We're not an island. We're not isolated. You're not here to be Jacinta so that you get all the praise and the glory and your life goes well and you're amazing and people are singing your praises. But when I look back and I say, okay, Jacinta, what have you done for the community of KwaMashu? I can say, I've done this, I've done that, I've done that. And for me, that is what my self-worth is.
Wow. Truly, truly, truly amazing. I think for me, when it comes to self-worth, there are many selves, you know, these themes and concepts. Self-love, self-compassion, self-value, self-worth, self-esteem. They all talk about how we see ourselves, how we talk to ourselves, and how we value ourselves. We as women have a tendency of loving everyone else, taking care of everyone else, loving and talking well about everyone else, but how do you talk to yourself? You know, who is feeding you? You're feeding everyone. Now, when Jacinta talks about how she came about, for me, self-worth and my self-confidence, because sometimes in my coaching classes, people will ask, how do I develop that? Niyasaba, niyazenyeza. Ngikude kulento kodwa ngiyasaba. I'm always afraid ukuthi people are going to say I'm not good enough or I'm an imposter. You know this imposter syndrome ukuthi abantu bazothi ucabanga ukuthi wenze sokabani. Musukucathi uBeyonce wena usiyona uBeyonce. People are like that. The imposter syndrome, and then you don't want to do it. Guys, it was back, I think I was about 10 years old. One day ngezi. Remember when TV came? First it was black and white TV. And some families had TV and some families didn't have. So I came from that family that didn't have TV. We used to pay 10 cents to watch TV at our neighbors. But this one time I didn't have 10 cents. So we could watch TV from outside the gate, from the window. From the window. But I was watching TV. Sizakele or something like that. I can't remember. But then it was news time. And I saw this woman who was standing there, talking, bold, wearing beautiful stuff. She had a hat, she had gloves, she had so many journalists trying to get a piece of her. And she was talking, and she was holding a baby. But the baby, why I noticed it, the baby did not have legs, the baby did not have arms. She was holding the baby, they were holding a microphone for her. She was talking boldly, you know. I looked at her, and everyone seemed to be rushing. When I say many journalists, I mean many. I was standing there as a young girl, and I was like, why? What is it that she is going to be saying? Why is everyone rushing to get a piece of her, to hear what she is going to say? Something must be special. But what had drawn me to look was the dress. You know, the suit she was wearing, the hat, the gloves. Then I learned afterwards that was Princess Diana. And she was talking in one of the African countries because of my landmines. And kids bebe limala. So she was talking and everyone was listening. You know what I said? 10-year-old, 12-year-old. I said, one day, I will speak and the world will stop and listen. That is what I said. I was young, I didn't have money for TV, but that changed my life. I started researching on who she was. I started following her. Guys, even today, when she died, I cried. I think you've seen me on Instagram. Whenever William and Harry do stuff, I always say, your distant aunts, because I still feel like I know her. I feel like uDiana ngiyamthanda mangisa ngwathandi ngoba enza le yanto. Kodwa do you know what I'm saying? uDiana ngiuDiana nje ngiyibona mase ngigqoka isigqoko ngafaka amagloves ngithi kahle kahle Diana kahle. So I'm saying self-worth, for me, it was a young girl who says, I will do this. But then doesn't stop there. Then you craft your path. You know, ntombazane yakande ngeze lokishini eTonu Discom Plaza njani, uyobufika kanjani ku stage somhlaba and speak. So when 3 years ago, when we went to Las Vegas and I was speaking, guys, when I ascended that auditorium to speak to thousands of people, as I was walking up, I was saying, you are wonderfully and faithfully made. You are one girl, you can do this. A girl from Thornwood to the world. Self-worth. If I did not believe in myself, nobody else will believe in you. Nobody else will give it to you. That is my point today. Self-worth, self-confidence, it's not given. It is taken. You have to take it. Zethembe. Zethembe. Mawuphumala namhlanje zethembe. Love yourself, trust yourself, know that you can do it. For me, that is what self-worth is about. Self-worth goes with your self-value. Khona into nayo oyaziyo awukwazi ukwakha izindlu njengoThobe. You are not selling petrol and diesel. You can't speak like uZanele or be in events or PR or marketing. You can't be on radio like Jacinta, but lento okwazi ukuyenza yenzisise. That's your value. That is your value. Now, as we move on, you know, Thobe, especially people like you, who you're a very strong woman. Your presence is felt immediately. When you speak, ama vibrations ayazwakala. A lot of people, especially women, yes, and men, will say that there is a fine line between confidence and arrogance. And when we are assertive, usually as women, people will say you are arrogant immediately. And will say you are arrogant, uyazitshela, uyaziphakamisa. You know, bese-ke uyazinyeza-ke now uyazehlisa. Talk to me about that and how women can go about that.
Wow, that's a powerful question. Definitely. Being in a male industry taught me exactly that. That just by being given a title of being a woman, with immediate effect, they undermine you, that you can. So, if you excel, they think who you think you are. You see, you never please our world, you can't please our people. But one thing I can affirm today is that success starts from within. You don't need people to tell you and affirm you that you're going to be successful. Tell your mind that I am successful. Mind you, you're saying you're successful and you've got nothing on that. But when you look at the mirror, you just see this person and you tell this person that you can. And that's like Zanele Mbokazi. So success starts from within. Because the feeling that we have within will inform your decision making. What you see, what you aspire, what you dream, what you picture about yourself will inform your decision making. Because the decisions you'll be taking will become a reality to what you want to become. So that's a journey on its own, because when you are busy revealing, unveiling, and doing all that process about yourself, others are witnessing. But the fact is, it's not everyone who witness the efforts of putting others see the fruits. And when they see the fruits, they can easily judge and think, "Ufike kanjani?" Because they were not there when you were crying. They were not there when you were sleeping with empty tummy, nothing in your tummy. I mean, I've never been there to that level, but there are colleagues I know, abalala bangadlanga. But it's because determination, your dream, you see it. Awufuna ukudisturb yilutho. So dare to walk the journey. Allow people to witness it. So they will testify behind your back. Basho bathi sibonile esebenza. So this title yokuthi uyayitshela, unfortunately I've observed empilweni ukuthi it's us who also perpetuate that, because immediately when God bless us, we become too high. We become too high to a point that there's a say that say when the tree is too high, esiba namafutha amahle. But abantu abaphansi, they can't reach it. Azabole. So my advice today would say, allow not to be defined by money. Identity. You are more than money. And allow not to be defined by assets and achievements. Yes, they are part of life, but you are worth more. At least subscribe to ethics, good mannerism, and humility. Zama ukumuntu ebantwini dleka. Abantu abakwazi ukudraw inspiration from you. Remember, your legacy is in the people that have changed, in the lives that have changed. That's legacy for you. The legacy is not what Bentley, what car, what Maserati you're driving. People don't care about that. Mind you, you're driving that car by yourself, so it's none of their business. What is their business is that whose life you're changing, what impact you bring. So I think let's close this gap, and the people that can close this gap are people like me and you, who are seen as role models, who are seen as people that are making it. Because definitely try and tell yourself to be the opposite. When akuphikise lokhu abantu abakucabangayo, abantu masebeseduze abantu babona ukuthi unomuntu, babona ukuthi uyadleka, uma ubuza umbuzo uyakuphendula akathi go through my 5 PAs unnecessarily. Because sometimes we become so complicated and so sophisticated, and you ask yourself, now if they allow you to be like that, you are the ones who will be lonely food. How can we deal with you now? And when tough times come, this is life, it's on. So zama uphile uphilisane nabantu, abantu banormal, abantu bayathanda, but more than anything, abantu bafuna impact from you. Whose life are you changing?
Wow. Wow, thank you so much. You know one thing that you've just said, sometimes people will judge you from afar. Bakhulume baqede, akeve zitshela. Like she is so arrogant, and they don't know you. The day sebefike kuwe, ilento yokusubscribe uthenga izimpi ongazazi. The day sebefike kuwe bese bethi awukanti sisilinda kuyakhulumeka nje naye inganti kwathiwa akeve nonya akeve ezitshela, you know. So that's another thing. I mean, one important thing before I move to Esay, relationships can make or break you. Some of you are where you are today. You are not able to reach your true destiny because uqhenyele abantu abebengakusiza. Wabaqhenyela wababukela phansi wabakhuluma kabi kanti ibona bebengakusiza. So sometimes we hate people instead of learning from them. So when you see somebody knock at their door, obviously, look guys, people are busy. That's the truth. They are busy. Because I know they cannot have 20 meetings a day. But you can learn from what they are doing and find a way. So it's very important that your relationships, make sure that the relationships that you make, you are able to make one phone call and say, Jacinta, this is what I need. If I need something at bank, if I need something home affairs, you need to have abantu in those strategic places. Very important. Udinga umngani okwazi ukugijima, udinga umngani ozokunika wisdom, udinga umngani. You need that in your circle, and that is what makes you win. But Esay, you've been in the corporate world, so to say, for a very long time, and I think you're the right person that we kickstart with when it comes to issues of money and wealth. You know, the company that you are managing is making billions of money. It's not a secret. And how do you, as a person, though, as a woman, ensure that you have enough discipline? Because, guys, abanye bethu siqhenya sisano 100 rand. When you have 2,000, people can't even talk to you. I mean, I mean, when your company starts, I remember my company, I had 1 million rands from Telkom. It was my first account when Telkom was listing at the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. Hey, anglalanga. 1 million rands, my company, I had arrived, guys. Ngayishaya ngayivala, ngayiqeda ngayibhubhudla ngemicimbi nokudla neyingubo. That was like 19 years ago. But I did. That money, I don't know what I did with it. 1 million rands. Because I had not been taught how to handle money. When I received 1 million rands, ngahlanya. So, I mean, you've been handling money. And guys, I know I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. Well, I'm mature now, money-wise. I can handle money. But, lelia million, anglazi la shonapi. Anglazi. So, sis, you have been handling money. And I know that you are very savvy when it comes to issues of finance and accounting and. You've seen millions and billions in your lifetime. How do you ensure that you've got discipline? We don't see you shopping all the brands that are out there. There's nothing wrong with brands, but we also don't see you splashing the money and discipline and money and wealth. Talk to us.
So let's start from the beginning. First and foremost, you're so right, Zanele. It's so easy for you to lose track or lose focus when you are handling so much of money. But let me tell you a secret. I had a way of handling the money that the companies generated with one thought. It wasn't my money, one. It belonged to the company, two. And we had employees that we had a responsibility to. And the third one, or the fourth one, would be the most important thing. We had suppliers to pay. So once you have those 4 pillars in your mind all the time, and you're sitting in a position where you could outlay money so easily, but I had a very hard taskmaster. If I spent the money, I had to be able to account for it, and more importantly, if I couldn't pay a supplier at the end of the month, it meant that the whole business stopped. So the discipline from a very early age, or from a very young age, I've worked with my husband for over 31 years. The first time he asked me to count money, and let this be a lesson to everybody, I didn't know what I was doing. I just finished matric, I have no other qualifications. Everything that I learned and sit here today is through experience. My kids were very small when we had a service station. First service station, he didn't have anyone to do his banking, so he brought this bag of money home, put it on the dining room table, and he said, please count it and put it in the deposit book. Once you're done, I'll take it to the bank and I'll get it deposited. I thought I was so smart. I decided everyone could count money, cash, counted all the cash. That was simple because it had instructions there, your 50 rands, your 100 rands, 20s and 10s. I think there was even 5 rand notes at that time, not coins. But when it came to checks, and that time checks were very common, everybody used them. So at a service station, you supply or you write out checks every time you go in and fill. So I thought that Mr. Naidu, Mr. Gumede, if he filled twice or thrice and came to the service station and he gave you 3 checks, you had to add all of them up and put it down as one amount under one name. So I did that. Mr. Naidu gave us 3 checks for the week. I calculated it. It came to 150 rand. Wrote Mr. Naidu and put the amount there of 150 rand. He didn't check my work. He went back to the bank and he came back. I got the scolding of my life. And there's one thing I realized. Don't call me stupid. You can call me stupid once. You'd never call me stupid twice. I learned then that every check had to be deposited separately. Those were the lessons that you learn when you're starting out in business. It continues. It's hard. You cry sometimes. You're called an idiot. You work while your children are sick. But that is a sacrifice Rajan and I, decided we were going to make because we wanted a better life for our kids. When we first got married, we didn't have enough money to fix up the car. At that time, we needed 150 rand. Having said that, you learn discipline on how to handle your money when you have hard lessons like that. When you're unable to pay a fine of 50 rand and you're scared that somebody or the police will come knocking at your door with a warrant of arrest. So sitting here today, looking all polished, never ever tells you the story of how you started. But I think the most important thing is never forget that story. Never forget as to where you came from. Never forget how you started. And that keeps you grounded, because that is the most important thing. So the many lessons I learned, I was responsible for the money, for the companies that we traded or we did business with. I had one directive. You ensure that all your suppliers and all your creditors are paid at the end of the month. And that was a reputation that we earned as excellent, well-grounded, confident company. And that is why KZN Oils is where it is today. And from there, I always call her the mothership. From there, all the other companies grew because of a good reputation, because of good values. So you can have lots of money. You can go and you decide what you want to do with it. It's your choice. And I always say to my 3 children, every day you have choices. You can get up in the morning, you can make a good choice and you can make a bad choice. You make a good choice, you have good rewards. You make a bad choice, make sure there is accountability for the choices you make. So, having said that, it's easy to spend money and then sit with a problem, but it also takes discipline. Lots and lots of discipline, because at the end of the day, you're accountable. Thank you.
Come on, guys. Esay, you're one of a kind. And I know that everyone here, guys, now. Why as women we do not have money and we can't create wealth? And that is what I want us to talk about now. You know, most of the time, Thobe, I don't even want to talk about the business side. Esay has touched on that now. I want about us as people, your money, your own, not even the money for your business. your own money. When we get money, a lot of people, and I know this will resonate with a lot of people, you get paid on Friday. After 3-4 days, the money is gone.
Correct.
In fact, my dad, we used to get paid on the 25th. And from the 20th, my dad will not talk in the house. Sekusondela ukuphela kwenyanga. He will not, akasangeneki. Wayengangeneki bhubezi. Until the 25th, ahole, until the 10th next month. You know, isiphelile. So, guys, what is it that makes us fail to handle money? Because we can't even talk about creating wealth without addressing two things. Handling money and debt, iskweleti. I train on ukubulala iskweleti, and ayikho into ecindezela abantu besifazane njengeskweleti. How do we talk about this, Thobe?
I think financial intelligence is important. What is financial intelligence? Financial intelligence is that when I'm paid, I normally say to people, whenever the bank account in a man, that is when you need to be more sober. Be sober. And we for a day. Because the following day, ingqondo izoba so kahle kahle this money is not yours, it's for Corporate, it's for Pluscon, it's for Plum Link, it's for salaries. So financial intelligence is key. I think what makes us not to have money, it's wrong financial decisions. Where our priorities are compromised. Remember, your actions exposes your priorities. So if the money is there, and when you think of a Lamborghini, instead of buying a TLB, yet you're a contractor, that simply means all the time you will hire whenever you need to do excavations. Whereas if you applied your financial intelligence and said, I've got 5 million in my account, let me take 1.5 million and buy a TLB cash. Because all the time, all that money will come to my pocket. Most success is not, sometimes you need to be smart if you run a business in order to make it. Because imali mayikhona generates enye. Imali ayingenisele enye. I think I'm like you, Zanele, because I think I touched my first millions at the tender age of 25. 25, 26, I was already counted among the people that are touching certain millions. So that taught me so much maturity and so much self-discipline and financial discipline. So whenever there's money, firstly, my responsibilities. Because once you miss that, you'll have no money. Because people are whopper, you're not going to pay people, you'll overcommit, and then there's not going to be no money. And also, dare yourself to invest constructively in bettering your business. Business is like a baby. It's businesses that you nurture it, you feed it, you expand it yourself. I started as an interior designer. When I finished at Technicon, I just graduated and qualified as a qualified interior designer. But because when I was I remember one of the significant projects I did was to revamp in the parliament, doing the speaker's cottage. By then our premier was Mr. Ndebele, and the deputy speaker was Ubabu Simkun. I was young, man, 20, 25. When I did that job, they were all like, who revamps our spaces beautiful, our offices look beautiful. And they said, it's another young girl. Another thing that is very important, subscribe to Black Excellency. When you do something, do it perfectly. Asiyeke lento yokuthi mawuqhamuka kuthiwa hayi bekwenza umuntu. Ayi bengcono wakhona umlungu. Sabelungu today. You know, asiyeke ukuzinyeza. Uma ungena endlini akucaca ukuthi ungenile uSizanele. Ungenile uSisithobeni. Noma ungenalutho because of your presentation, because of your confidence, because of your intellectual capacity, invest on something. Dare yourself to ukuthi ube khona okuphethe okwenza ukuthi mawufika u-add value. So ungabi kwethu nemali, it lies really on our financial discipline. It also lies on the lack of financial intelligence. My take on that, because I think it's very wise if you are in business to have something called a vision board. Have a vision board which has timelines, which has in such a time of achieve ini. Because once you are clear with your vision board, as she mentioned to Zanele, your circles need to speak to your vision board. Your time management needs to speak to your vision board. Your quality control needs to speak to your vision board. Because in business, you succeed everything. It needs to fit to this body called business, and it must function. So I think financial intelligence is key. That when there's money, invest your money on constructive things and things that will move you forward and things that will make your business better.
I'm going to come back on issues of investing. Where can we invest as women? But Jacinta, I cannot let you go without asking about young women and money. You know, nidume kabi ngokungafuni ukusebenza, ngokufuna izinto zamahala, ngokulahla umlenze ukuze nibe nemali and all the things. I mean, it's not true for every girl. There are girls, young girls who are working. You know, 2 weeks ago, I was in Mpumalanga province. I'm doing a project there. I'm coaching young women in agriculture. I was amazed to see young girls go 5, basemasimini. They are in the field, they are working. All glamour, bomhlaba ngomgqibelo ntambama. Sebeyibona sebebahle, they look amazing. They are buying cars. Guess what? Sebenza nabo lapha enhlabathini. And I was so impressed. Ngifisa ukubacosha ngibalethe emhlabeni ngithi we mantombazana nibukeni ukuthi amanye enzani njengoma abanye bengafuni ukusebenza. So I am saying there are young girls who are working very hard, who are earning their money, and it kills me when everyone is painted with the same brush ukuthi young girls don't want to work, but I'm a gold diggers, because it's not true. You know, but it is true for some. Talk to me about money, your relationship nemali njengamantombazana.
I think there's 2 types of women that you're talking about. There's the ones that are gold diggers. And unfortunately, it's the pressure of social media, you know, where people feel like they only get validated by having a Louis Vuitton bag. They only get validated by posting trips, reels in expensive places. There's always videos and pictures, but we never know who's behind the pictures, who's taking the pictures, who's paying for the trips.
Who's taking the pictures?
You know what I mean? But the most important thing is that they'll do anything to feed this animal inside that says, "Ukuthi, I need to prove ukuthi ngiphila impilo," you know? And it's so unfortunate that even some of the women in business feed that animal. You know, you work so hard, but you're only working to feed social media. You work so hard, but you only want to prove that you're doing well so that the people bazokuvuma on social media. And it's so sad because I've seen this so many times with women that, you know, have been close to me, some far, where someone is given an opportunity to make something very brilliant of a business. And instead of growing themselves as a person, as a businesswoman, they'd rather grow the image that Facebook people must see of them. So kufanele bangibone ukuthi ngiyaswenka. Kufanele bangibone ukuthi anginandaba nayo, imali yami mina ngizoyidla. I'll go out ngibathengele utshwala. I'll do this and that every single weekend. And that's unfortunately a demon, an animal that exists even in women that work for themselves. Then there's women who really just work hard. And in that working hard, face so many challenges. I'll take you through some of the challenges that we face. You know, I'm sure some of you know this, we've worked with Umaspala building parks and we work very closely with Nkosi Ngcobo because he's the one that believed in the vision. Now, instead of people saying, "Oh my gosh, these girls are doing so well," the response or the comments would always be, "Ubani ulala noNgcobo phakathi kwenu." It would always be, "Nabantu baNgcobo, we can't help you." Ngoba i-department ethize ayizwani noNgcobo, wena umuntu waNgcobo kuba ushutha naye, you can't get assistance from us. Or if you get assistance, it's that ngoba noNgcobo umnika yini pho mina ungafuna unginika. You know what I mean? And it becomes very difficult because you have to deal with stereotypes that exist that you don't even know how they came about. So because I'm Jacinta, I work hard, I'm not supposed to look like this. I'm supposed to look scruffy so that I look like Anglegi. Sorry to put it that way. But that's the way it is. I'm not allowed to look good and hot and sexy, or it's going to appear as if ngifuna amadoda you know? I think Women's Month presents us a huge opportunity at looking at these things very seriously, because for me, my biggest pain doesn't come in the fact that men have an advantage and men have had an advantage for so long. My biggest pain comes in that we'll sit like this as women, but then when the chance comes for you to present someone with an opportunity, ngeke unike uJacinta ngoba umuntu wesifazane. You'd rather see Thabo getting that opportunity. And these are things that we sit and I just want to come back to this issue that always bothers me of like-mindedness. Every time we sit in panels like this, you'll probably gather the same group of people who think like you. So we become, you know, le group of women, you don't drink, you don't sleep around. You see, it's so bad that on social media you can't write something good about yourself without it being perceived as someone who's in ngcono. Mawubhala uthi ufundile, ave zenza isifundiso. Mawubhala ukuthi wenza ukuthi something good, ave zenza ngathi ungcono. But mawungabhala into ukuthi ngithengele abantu abangaka utshwala uyavunywa. You know? Ubukhabhadiya isikhobo, you know? Those are the things that society wants us to celebrate. We are expected to celebrate such things, and how do I build wealth? If I'm trying to build wealth for myself, but there's this whole other pressure, mostly from women, that I have to succumb to, because these same women will not support me unless I portray a certain image of myself.
It's very difficult, but thank you, Jacinta. That's a mouthful. You know, Leo Guti, awuphuzi. How indaba. Ube wrong, uzufile engathi fanele uthi hayi ngiyaphuza nje occasionally to fit in. You know, now we go back to self-worth, because those are true issues. But also leyo kulala. Bakithi Jacinta sina 20 years in business. I'm sure sekwashoka 50. Umuntu wesifazane nje uphumelelayo. Lo line yohlala usilandela, the line that whoever you're sleeping with, why are you getting those tenders? You know? Now, I always say this, if my vagina gets me a job, shooting at madoda, their penises are getting them the jobs. So, kahleni bazalwane. Leyo nje, I think it's saying ngane isikhalisa, but now you know who you are.
It shouldn't be like that.
But it is there. There are people who can never allow to see your true value, because they don't see their own value, bona. So they assume that what you have to exchange in order for you to get something is ikwe.
But to add,
Kanti ushukela bakithi kwabanye bethu akona lo esidayisa ngawo ukuze sithole izinto. Siyasebenza, siyahlala. But Jacinta, just before Thobe, I just wanted to add on one thing that you said, on opening opportunities and the pressures. I got angry at some point, knocking at various doors, be it government, be it whoever. Sometimes you just know, you know what, I'm filling in this tender, but they've already awarded this tender. They know exactly whom they're going to give this tender, so I know that. And you knock at different doors, and sometimes people will not give you because they just don't like you, or kada yethola, or abazinana ukuthi awukuthole kanjani lokho, or hayi isikhathele obani sifuna nathi kuba njengabo, or you know kuningi. So I made up my mind. That is the reason I started The Crowns, which is my project. You can't take it away from me whether you like it or not. That's why I started my own training classes. That's why I do my own radio shows and TV shows and stuff. And why? I said, if people do not give you an opportunity, I'm going to be the opportunity. I'm not even creating an opportunity. I am the opportunity. I am the opportunity. I decided that I was going to be the opportunity. In fact, some of those people that were closing doors now come to me. Either they want me to help them market, either they want me to interview them, but they close the opportunities. So, ladies, Skati sokhala siphelile. If people are closing the damn doors, try and knock at those, kick them if you have to, but if it still is not opening, step back and say, what do I do to create the same opportunity elsewhere? There are other girls that are doing it. Go and partner, because sometimes we want to do our own things and we do not want to partner with people who have the experience in that particular sector that you want. Thobe.
You know, I'm touched by what she's saying because many people are victims of peer pressure, guys. And in such a way that they end up aborting their dreams because they're trying to please certain people. My advice would say, as part of maturity, is one of accepting what works for you and what does not for you. One thing I can tell you, and be rest assured, sometimes being successful, it makes you to only have 2 or 3 people in your life. So long if they add value, mind you, let's be honest. So your time is money. So let's corner, who's investor with 2, 3 people that are adding value, it's still okay. Be content. You can't please, if Jesus couldn't please everyone, who are you? You know. So I'm one person who subscribes to certain principles. One of them is that one. I don't expect to be for everyone. I must be for those who are meant for me. And because there's a powerful message that Zanele shared a week ago, where she said, know your friends. Have people that are willing to celebrate with you. Have people that are willing even to discipline you face to face, not to gossip about you behind your back. If they're not, if a true friend is the one that in your absentia say, you can never talk about my friend like that. As God, what's wrong? Say now, what are you doing? You know, that's a friendship. Also, it's very important to know what works for you. There are toxic relationships. There's a relationship that you feel, it's whenever unayo, it tell you, it gossip about other people. It tell you how bad so and so is. Do need that. We are emotional beings as females. And if you feed your emotional space with negativity, what are you going to bear in return? So my advice would say, please be selfish when it comes to your dreams and your aspirations and your goals. Think about what you want and take a decision, be very decisive. I mean, I hate rejection with all my heart. Because I'm from a very loving family. I'm the only girl at home. My parents love me to bit. My dad loves me to bit. If I sense rejection, smelling it, I cut with immediate effect. I focus on those that loves me because love and positivity gives me positive energy to fly. So you must know your strengths and you must know what works for you. And this friendship thing, if a friendship adds no value, don't even feel guilty. Yeah. And if it's at no value, value is not about money only. But it's someone that will come and comfort you sometimes. Someone that will show you love, just hug you. There are times in the love we are going to client. And I need someone that says, don't worry, my friends, all will be okay. That's all I need. So you must know what works for you. And no one will take those decisions for you, sis. I don't want to lie to you. As Zanele has mentioned, there are people who don't say, anxiety, but we are. The good thing with not staying in circles, when I don't stay in circles, even if they gossip about me, so when on a problem, remember, so who are they going to talk about if they have no content to talk about? They will talk about you because you're feeding them with good content. And they could see, maybe others are even hating you because they can't accept the life you're living. They didn't think you deserve it. Yeah. So it's life. Be very content and be decisive. Cut those useless relationships. They'll destroy you.
Kata. They will always talk about you because when they talk about themselves, nobody cares. Nobody listens. You know, Abba sends a story, so they can only talk about you. But also, as you're saying, stay away from toxic relationships. There are relationships that are people who drain you. You know, you go to a person like Biza, you still go, but you're like, oh God, I wonder what she's going to be talking about today. I'm not really sure. But hey, Tiwani, let me go. Now, those are the things that take your time, but also take your energy. You know, protect yourself, build boundaries. In order for you to move, we're building wealth, and now say busy. Sakimali, sifuna ukwakha imali sibhizi indaba yezinto engayindawo and then friends who will be friends with you today and then bakuthreatenisha ngendlela abenza ngayo ngelanga upost izinto uyabona ukuthi oh okay uyinike le you know you don't need that sibadala sibhizi I think masiphuma la eyethu ithi sibhizi sakhe imali yazi sibhizi man sakhe imali we are making money we don't have time for those things now Esay I want to talk about personal issues now, guys, because I'm going to be opening the floor shortly. How do we save money? How do we make money as ladies? How do we encourage each other? Let's share our stories. How do the little that you have? Because someone will say, I don't have money. Where do I even start to save? Because I'm in debt. I'm going to talk a little bit about debt. But how do I even start to make sure that whatever I get can be able to sustain me? Because again, it goes back to issues of financial management. But what do we say to women here who are saying, you know what, guys, you are sitting there and you are saying you've made it and you are making money. Where do I start? What do I do to make sure that the little that I have can be bigger tomorrow?
So I think for us ladies, what we've done is we've really undervalued and underestimated our own worth. Let's start with a simple thing like our homes. We've learned from a very young age, when you're with your mom, that she has a budget that she needs to use to control the household for a month. She needs to feed, she needs to go send her children to school. She's to ensure that the house is run properly. And that is something that we learn from a very young age. We've learned that we have a certain amount of money we've got to put away for groceries. We've got to ensure that we pay our bills. We've got to ensure that we feed our children every evening. And that for me starts as simple, very simple management of that little money that your husband or your dad or your brother gives you, whoever is working in that home, and they give you that money with such confidence, knowing that you are going to be holding it and handling it for a month. It starts there. Have we forgotten how powerful we are? With that little bit of money, we are able to run a household for a month, and your husband or your spouse or your partner, or whoever gives you that money, knows that you're capable of doing that. Why have we not learned from there? And that is just the very simple way of learning how to manage your money. It then grows. That 500 Rand a month or 200 Rand a month, or even the money you get from social grant, you handle it in order for you to live for the next amount of money. But what we forget is we're so deep in the pot that we forget how to save. And the thing is, even as children, we taught from a very young age. I know we were doing that. We had a little piggy bank. We had to put our monies in there and save it for whatever you wanted to buy. And that teaches you wealth, intelligence, financial intelligence, like Thobe said. The thing is, we forgot about our basics. We need to go back to basics. We need to start saving. I know it's easy to talk about it. And when you're in a situation when you have debt, to talk about saving that 50 Rand. But let's be honest, we are in a position, if I have 1,000 Rand to spend, I'll find ways to spend that 1,000 Rand. If I take 200 Rand of that 1,000 Rand and put it away, I will manage to live with the balance that I have. It's just human nature. That's the way we are. That's the way we are groomed. But it also takes, like I've said before, discipline. It takes huge amount of discipline not to touch that 200 Rand that we spent, no matter what the situation is. And once you learn that kind of discipline, it's very easy to retain your wealth, your savings, to be comfortable. So what I do, first and foremost, in the companies that we have, is employ women. Because I find them, with no disrespect to the males out there, They are much more efficient. They are much more, we're complicated, but we are very simple creatures at the end of the day. I find that, and what I do with the women in our business, with all the companies, I think there's only 2 men that run some of the companies, the rest are all ladies. I love working with them. I love empowering them. I love having them come to me and say, I have a problem, and we sit down and talk about how we're going to manage your money. So that is my passion. If I find that there's a problem where I have too many of the staff come in and say they need to sell their leave days or they need an advance, I call in. We have good relationships with the banks. Call them in. They have such beautiful departments that come in and understand or teach you to understand how to use your money, how to spend it wisely, and more importantly, how to save. So I'm going back to discipline. Discipline, that is so important.
Okay. I know that you want to ask some questions. We are going to be opening it shortly. But I just want to quickly say, for me, when I do coaching on debt and finance, without going to theory, 5 things that quickly that could help somebody here. You need a budget.
Correct.
You just need a budget, guys. Even if you're going to get the 350, even if you earn 1,000 or 500 rand, you need a budget. What is a budget? Simply a list of the things that you need to do with your money. If you don't know, izothengena ngo-350 kube kufona umngane eshenye into usuthenga leyo nto. You have not spent it accordingly. You need to have a budget. 2, you need to track your spending. Know where your money is going. You know, a lot of people, when you start doing exercises and you ask, what did you do with your money this month? Hey, I'm not sure. I bought something. When you actually sit down to track your money, you realize what you bought. A drink, a garage, you bought this,
Yes.
you bought this. And that, when you come to the total, is so much money that you could have saved. You know? So that is the second thing that is very important. 3, doesn't matter how much you earn, you need to invest. You need to save. Maybe before investing, you need to save. I know, ukuthi uhleli lapho uthi, hey, ngisayiveni kule mali engekho. Le ncane khona, ma uno 200 rands, u10 rand usave. I mean it. Even if 2 fake esiqoqoqoqweni kulungile. Even if ukuthi uyothenga ama stamps, usave kodwa ubeke. Whether ufaka ebank or ufaka phi, sokhuluma ngama bank ngelinye ilanga, ubeke kodwa, saver. Then you need an emergency fund. That one is important. Guys, there will always be a rainy day. Something is bound to happen. Whether igiza izoqhuma, itire or ingane izogula. You always need to have an emergency fund. Guess what? When we have an emergency at home, we then go out to find money. Either you're calling friends who buy new cents ufonela bangani, nezihlobo or uyakumashonisa, akusaphumeki. Akusaphumeki kumashonisa. Akusaphumeki. So emergency fund yini yile mali oyibeka eceleni. You save the emergency fund every month. Be it ufaka 100 rand, but you need money, Jacinta, that will be able to sustain you for 6 months if you are not going to get any income. So iba naleyo mali eceleni ngoba at some point ekhaya kuzoshonwa. At some point ekhaya kuzogulwa. That you know. Awukwazi ke musu unqonqozela wonke umuntu. Musu uyamblame futhi ukuthi akakusizi. Kanti ubukade wazi wena wayithenga iHeineken izolo. You do understand? You know, so it becomes very, very important. Track your spending, make sure ukuthi uyazi, and then obviously at the end invest. Now I want to move to invest. Because see, investor ain't when ehlukile. I'm going to be inviting you to some webinars that I do, especially next week, because ikhona ekhuluma ngama investments ahlukene. Asikwazi uku-investa sonke Thobe. Abanye bethu bano 100 rand, abanye bano 50 rands, others have 5 million rands to invest. But I want to say, there is an investment that is good for you. Whether ufake stokfeleni ngikhathele ke sokudla or esotshwala futhi kwosisi sekufike esotshwala manje lesi sihlukaniswayo. Guys, there are people who are playing itokfela bakha izindlu. Investing in property imali buye. I am kwi stokfela mina se agriculture. imali yabuya ngineyinkomo zami angilusi inkomo kodwa ezami imali yami iyakhula kuleso stokvel. So there are things like that it's a mindset thing. When you speak about investing, you need to change your mindset ukuthi imali yakho izokhula kwini. This coming Thursday, I'm going to be inviting all of you guys to that webinar. There are 5 things they're going to be telling you on how to make money. Ngishungenayo njengamanje, but you can make money. No excuse. Because abantu abala, I believe, beze ngoba bayafuna ukushintsha impilo yabo. And if sizoloku sikhuluma kungenzeke, I would really love the Playhouse Company to tell us next year, by August, ukuthi yazini 4 out of the ladies who were there have changed. If busa ikweletin, kuphumegin. If ubungena savings, usune savings. If you had nothing, you have money. But as you are clapping, no one will do it for you. Goes back to what you were saying. It takes discipline on your side. Tina, what we can only do is share our experiences, invite you to places that do those things, and then it's up to you if you're going to be able to do it. Thobe.
Also, to answer on the point of where opportunities are, I'm a proud product of our government. So I think they yourselves to check what our government have. They've got different programs, different budgets. Each department gets given a budget in each financial year. And once the department is issued a budget, that simply means they need to utilize that budget in executing what service delivery. So that's where opportunities come from for you guys. I work with other departments like Department of Works, anything that answers infrastructural problems, because I bring infrastructural solutions. So find out which one I because it starts with self-awareness. When you are a caterer, or a civil engineer, or a construction space, we don't know Tandan. So just find out, or when I shall approach the introspection, ufisa ukudlalela kusiphi space. Also clear ngaleso space, no kind relevant officers. Also, in order to stand a chance to benefit in opportunities, sort your compliances. Make sure all your papers are in order. You know, you never get any opportunity from our government if you don't have papers which are in order. You know, make sure you have a company. You don't just go to a Department of Arts and Culture, one work. They will say, what do you have? Give us your profile. So you must have relevant documents like CK documents, company profile that clearly articulates what you're offering, and have tax clearances and so on. So these things we need not to look down upon as abantu abamnyama ngoba iyasishaya lento. Why mina ngawathola amathenda? Why ugovernment yangangini? Kodwa mase kucheckwa deep my evaluation kutholakala ukuthi into zakhe aziqondanga. So qondisa amaphepha akho aqonde. And also khona bavama ukuthi experience ayicoshwa. It is true. Amanye ama jobs ku level yethu nje thina angeke uzongitshela ukuthi ufuna projects ka 7 GB like we are, and bese usawuna experience because ubuza ukuthi ufike kanjani. So kodwa level 1 bayawucathulisa, level 2 bayawucathulisa. So do knock kubantu ma level 1 zama ukubona o level 5 6 7 8 9. The last level is 9. I'm heading for 8 now. The last level is 9. I'm only like 1 stage away, 2 stage away from the no limit stage. So, but those people are already in the, I'm talking about my space, guys. People are already ahead in the industry of construction. So familiarize yourself with the space of ungena kuso. Best we ababheka abantu, because dare to find yourself a mentor as well. A mentor will tell you what is expected of you and what you need to have. But opportunities can be there, but if you are not aligned to the opportunities, you will miss them. In terms of investment, try and look for permanent and long-term investment. For example, I'm one person who's in property, so I enjoy property development and investing in property space because there is a long-term investment there. And to add in what Zanele just mentioned, you can partner with other people who are property developers. See Zakele without touching my bank. But that's a topic of another day. There is a lot. There's currently a model that is supposed to be executed both by government and private sector, which is called township economy and rural development. Abantu abaningi I'm sure niya notice ukuthi abantu bayafuduka manje baya endaweni zasemakhaya. Bakha ama mansion, bakha yonke into. Uyazibuza ukuthi if you're an innovative entrepreneur, ask yourself as innovative entrepreneurs ukuthi what's next? You know what's next? They need services now. These people nje lapha bana garage. Laba nje lapha bana itolo. Yenza example, laba nama surgeries. Those are opportunities for you. You need to think. You need to be a fast thinker. Hence I said earlier on, ask God for wisdom. Because have multiple streams of income. Yeah. So see opportunities where they actually, if you just create opportunities, I mean, I'm like that, I create them. I start something from scratch.
So dare yourself to create. When you see an opportunity, go for it, research. Also, there's something which is very important that I'm going to share today. Our government, let's put the government aside because I've covered government. Let's go to private sector. Many people complain and say, where are we getting the money? Now, I see a opportunity for a shopping center. I'm currently working on a shopping center project. Very soon, I'm a developer, so I'm growing in that space. So where I don't have money to build that shopping center. I just procured those shops in 2012, but now I'm converting them to a big shopping center. But I don't have that money, but there are institutions that have money. So you must know where to go. So you need to be informed because there are opportunities, but we're not going to tap into them if we're not aware. But if you organize such platforms, so you ask people that have a know-how, where and how to tap into those, definitely we'll tell you. So if we've got a job now, let's say we've got a letter of appointment. UABSA right now has got an MOU agreement with government that if you pay a letter of appointment, they will give you the money to do the job. They will verify your order, your contract, appointment. And then because what is important is that you have the money to execute the jobs. So that now so all these things are there, but we're not going to know if you don't call us like this and we tell you like we're telling you. And so on and so on. Itala as well is one of them. I will end there for now.
Thank you so much. I want to open the floor. But the last thing I want to say before opening the floor, so that if you are not prepared to invest in yourself, you're not going to get anywhere. Kuyabhadalwa for information. Ukuze ukhule la. Lema opportunities we're talking about, we've paid. I don't know how many courses I have done to be where I am. So lendo yokuthi makuthiwa attenda ini kuzobhadalwa u200 rands or 5,000 rands. Uthi we information ikwakhela imali. So start by changing your mindset. Ukuthi, for me to grow, I need to first invest in myself so that I get the information. Because uhleli la uthi mhlambe imali ayikho kanti imali khona kodwa awazi. Ukuba attende one thing la kuthiwa khona hayi abazofuna imali ngabe uyitholile. Niyangithola? Kade kunento yezimbuzi izolo. I was facilitating it. Bekunento yezimbuzi bengingekho, bekunento yezimbuzi bahamba abantu bayofunda bathole ngisho funding yokuqala lezo imbuzi. Do you understand? Khona ohleli la uthi ngiyave ngithanda kodwa ngazi why? Lack of information. Ufundani? Ufunda bazongishaya. Ufunda lezi zinto engathi shu uhlala ku Facebook ubukela iGomora engabe ubona izinto zangempela. So change your mindset. Ngicela ama questions if there are any here. But mindset. Ngicela izandla. Is there any question? Anyone with a question? Anyone with a comment? Ngiyazi ukuthi mase ngiqeda bese niyiphakanisa zonke njengoba sisodwa nje. Ngicela microphone here please. Where is it? Oh, you need to go there, sweetie. Oh, okay.
Sanibona. Gama lami uphindile Ingrid Nduli. I just want to add on what Jacinta was talking about. Our biggest problem as women is it's patriarchy, and I always say that, and goes back to understanding yourself. I call myself Pindile Ingrid Nduli. I hated that English name with my all, but it's the name that actually describes me. I've become a brand where I work. I work for an organization called TB HIV Care. They knew eThekwini. They support, we focus on adolescents and young women. And when you look at those things, as she says, I remember in one of the trainings we were doing gender-based violence, and I was when the trainer had said, give her a clap, she's very informed, she's knowledgeable. Someone had said, at sexual transmitted knowledge, because they know of someone that we trying to start a relationship with that's in that stream. So others were like, I'm confronted in. I'm like, you know what, girl, if you feel me now, I sit as the things that I've engazazi. And by the way, Mom Tobe, thank you very much for following me. Yes, last night you did. I think I commented, I had said, I RSVP'd no response, and I'll go to request that you follow me. It is an honor. I've learned so much in this space, and guys, I would like to get into investments, but I have a company with my cousin, which is a male figure. So I want to find out, can I start something that's going to be on my own, that addresses my visions without disturbing that part? Because right now, when we started, it was a family thing, so that the ones that are before us, that are a step forward, they're trying to help us. But now I want something that speaks to Upindile, not them, not anyone.
Absolutely, you can start your own. You can start your own. There's nothing wrong with working with your cousin, but also you can start your own company that is yours.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Jacinta wanted to answer.
No, I just
on
wanted
something.
to add
Please go
to
ahead.
what you're saying, Buti, when you're talking about patriarchy. Men have had a lot of things easy for them, and that's why when you talk about the household, it's really sad, because even me now, before I could do anything for myself, I had to first go back home, what they call black tax, and make sure that everything at home is proper, because at the end of the day, should anything happen to me, you know it's going to be front page. Ukuthi ekhaya kubo indongo zayidilika. Yet she was working. So it's a pressure that we all have. And men, how many men actually are fathers to their children and maintaining them every single day? So can you imagine, as a mother, you have a responsibility of taking care of home. You have your own children to take care of without the help of anyone, because abantu besilisa have relinquished themselves of so much responsibility, and society is not calling them into order to say, listen, Aibo, you can't have a child, awazi usilala idleni, awazi ukuthi ifunda ngani esikoleni. But we sit back and we fold our arms. And I'm going to go back to, I know we always say, men are not going to give us that. I can just, men are not going to say, oh, you want equality, come here, have it. It's not going to happen. You want to not maintain your children, you want me to come on board and be 50-50, oh, come, let's do this together. It's not going to happen. But I'm always going to go back to women, because women are the ones with the greater knowledge, wisdom, responsibility. Let's take Umfana Ongondi, for example. That boy has a mother. Uma wakho uthulethini ebona ingane iyangane yakhe ingondliwe.
And sisters.
And sisters. So, I'm sorry, I don't expect much from men. I ain't go bangithi they're useless or whatever, but I really don't. It's like apartheid, where you sit and expect white people to give black people everything and say, oh, now we're happy, we live in a rainbow. It's not going to happen. So if ever we want change, it's going to start with women. If you want women to reclaim their place in society, in business, in whatever, it starts with women like ourselves sitting here to say, you want to be a radio presenter, come, let me teach you how to do it. You want to be in construction, come, let me teach you. You want to be in oil, come, I'll teach you. Men are not going to do that. And I think patriarchy is something that's not only in South Africa, it's everywhere in the world. And the only people that are going to fix that are women.
Basically, what Jacinta is saying in a nutshell is, we as women are our worst enemies. Because we talk about these things, we shout, we march when a brother is abusing another sister, a woman, but Tina, our own woman-to-woman abuse is even worse. So until we change, because some are hypocrites, kahle kahle. Siyakhuluma ngalezi zinto, but Tina sicindezelana sodwa, we fight, we close doors, we scheme, sinomona, we are jealous about each other. We don't clap when another woman is doing something until she does something wrong or she misses a step, and then front page and everyone looks at us as Shilo, you know. But we don't clap, we don't stop and say, damn, she's doing so well. Well done, girl. Which is what we're supposed to do. Go ahead, sis.
Thank you, Sanbonan. Gamala Muntogozo Mzimela. Yo, I had a completely different expectation about Namhlanje. First of all, I want to say thank you to all of you. You could have been somewhere else doing other better things, but you took the time out because we matter to you guys. So my question to you, you're all successful, you've all arrived. I just want you guys to take us back to when you started, just to address the fear and the self-doubt and those voices that you had to grapple and fight with to be where you are today. Because I'm sure there were that voice that like especially when I told this industry of this men, I can see you with these big, huge Afrikaner men, but this beginning from Maritzburg, like who does she think she is? So I just want to, just for all of us, just to address, because fear is one thing that keeps you from going forward. You go 10 steps forward and you're 2 steps back. So that's just my request.
Before you go though, I'm interested in knowing what were your expectations for today?
Something,
Bucabangani.
nje, something flimsy, yabona nje engayindawo, yabona nje noma yini,
Mantombazana.
oh, usis Zanele Mbokazi when I take selfies and, you know, but
Thatha ma-selfie kuphela la. Asidlali la.
but I'm really happy, like you guys are really like are digging the ground.
Woman to woman.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that. We appreciate that. Thobe, I'm gonna allow you to answer. Wazama, please note that question, the fear and everything. Noted. Yes, ma.
Can I take off my mask?
Please do.
Sanibonani, ladies.
Hi, lady.
Friends. Hey, I feel so honored to be here. Yeah, see, at my age, I didn't know that I can do something. Because here now we've been under other people's feet. So the day I said to myself, let me come out, let me get away, let me stretch my arms and see what I can do. That's when I started to dream about my own company. Uyazi, I was employed, but I was not happy because I saw myself doing a lot of things and nobody looked at me and nobody appreciated. They were so happy to get extra payments out of my sweat, but I never got anything out of that. They only said, Agnes, you did very well, and this company is being appreciated all over the show. And I used to ask them, what about me? You can't even organize safety shoes for me. Why? Now let me come to this one. I had a dream, but it never came through. But when I said my dream must come, my dream came to me. Actually, my name is Untombi Mtshali Ndlovu. I have my sister over there, but she doesn't know anything about me. I'm so glad to have you here. So, I have a baby company at the moment. It's called Galela Manchinga. I'm learning new things there. Just look at me. I'm 60 years now, but I've just had my little company. I can see that I'm going forward because I'm not looking back. Woo! You know, when you have a husband, you always look at him. When he says no, you just shake and say, I'm not going there. But I said, listen, my man, forward I go. I want to have what I want to have, not what you want. This is what I want. So I went to register my own company. I named it Galela Manchinga. He said, why Galela Manchinga? And always, where's Ndlovu here? I said, Ndlovu is none of my business. I want to be who I want to be. Today I understand who I am. That's what I said.
What do you do in your company?
It's a little company.
It's not little anymore.
Okay, it's not little anymore.
Little anymore.
Yes.
Yeah. Isingene lana lamantombazana azoyisupporta ingabisaba little.
Sure. I've started my cleaning company, so I only have one employee, and I regard myself as an employee too, because I'm also in the same job. I'm doing it too.
Good.
So I would like to employ someone else in my area to learn what I'm doing. And I've got another one where I do health and safety training in quarries. So someone employs me, so I said, no more. He's not gonna employ me, I'm the boss now.
Hey, hey. Yes, girl. Well done.
So I said to the managers of the quarries, I said, listen, I'm the own boss. You must give me the job. I'll give you the invoices. I'm sick and tired of being paid by somebody else, whereas he's taking money from my salary and giving it to himself. I want to pay back to my community too. How am I going to play that role if I'm still under someone's feet? I'm moving out of the cotton wool, and I want to know who I am, and this is who I am today. Thank you so much, lady.
Well done.
I feel honored to be here.
Well done, well done, well done.
Well done.
Whilst somebody else is going to the microphone, I don't know who's next. Cece, quickly, before you answer, I just want to say, you know, I wanted to ask you this question, and it's for somebody, to help somebody. Your husband passed on, died about 7 months ago, and he was well known. And you've now taken over. You were already in the company all these years, but for the first time, you are like the driver now. You are alone. Are people putting you in the shadow of your husband? Are people comparing you with the husband? Have we started as women saying it was better when Mr. Reddy was running the company, or there she comes, now things have changed? How is the change? How do you find the dynamics? Without going into detail, I just want to know.
Okay. So before I start, the one question, and it was for Tovela, it was about fear. I think for us, every single day, we still get up with a little bit of fear in us. It's there all the time. What we do is we overcome it. Every single day, all of us as women overcome that fear. When I lost Rajan 7 months ago, he was a giant. Everybody knew him. He was well known. He was the face of KZN Oils. When I had to step in, because I worked with him for many years, but I was always in the background. I was the power behind the man, I would say that. I mean, absolutely. But jokes aside, it was huge shoes to fill, and I made a decision that I wasn't going to try and attempt to fill his shoes. I was going to have people that would come to me and say that you're not doing it as well as he does, or he did, and I was fine with it. Because I had found, first and foremost, a lot of peace and a lot of confidence in myself. So I was prepared to make the mistakes and learn from it. I didn't care what people say and how I was judged, because at the end of the day, you know who you are, and that for me was the most important thing, is once you know who you are able to do anything. So, yes, I can never fill your shoes. I would never attempt to, but I do know I'm going to have my own shoes that somebody one day will try and fill.
Yes, girl. Amazing. Amazing. Tobe.
I think we are touching the most important issues now. I don't know whether it's me who realize that it's getting down to the core of each and every woman. Thank you very much. Togozo, fear is the biggest enemy. I know. I normally say identifying your fears, it's being smart. But overcoming them, it's the beginning of your success. Because if I were to be fearful in a male-dominated space, I was never going to be where I am. There are times where you need to stand in the mirror and tap yourself. Even if it was a big sword, to sell in the go to big 10,000. Because that's an achievement for you. So, the affirmation is an abantu yinhle, but it's not consistent. Try and affirm yourself on a day-to-day basis. Try and remind yourself who you are, self-worth, how capable you are. Because if that part is strong, you'll conquer anything. Also, try and identify who is on your corner. Zanele touched base on that a week ago, and I was moved.
who is in your corner is this person, a person to go to. Owaziyo ukuthi kuyena uyakwazi ukufika ube vulnerable ungabi CEO yethu bethulana. Ngifike ngibe uThobe onemizwa. Ngifike ngikhale bese ethi wake up and I'm with you. Uzokubamba ngesandla sokhuleka ndizokwenzeka. You need to know who's in your corner. And also, because you need to conquer your fears in order to move forward. I mean, I remember when I got the first project, it was a huge contract. My dad was already in business before me. And because to me, the person that I choose to be in my corner, it's a person who's got my back 101%. And that's my parents, me. So I knew when I got that order, I had a lot about my fear. My biggest fear was, government is entrusting me with these millions, but I don't even know whether I'm going to really lead this project and make it be successful. I be failure. I need financial support. I need, as much as I've got I'm a educational background, but when it comes to practicality, it's something else. I went to their person. I called my dad, that kind of a business meeting. He was busy with these meetings, but he secured a time in his diary for me. Mind you, I'm married by then, he's based in my respect. He ran his own security company, construction. Not with pleasure. We met. Remember, you must be able to separate your business and pleasure from your dad and from your friends. Because when you get into a boardroom, you're becoming colleagues, and you need to draw inspiration from that person. So when I was in that meeting, I told him I've got an order. I know I'm scared. I don't have the only thing that she realized, because he's got my back. So I said, have a to-go person. He said, don't worry, my company will loan your company. He wasn't giving me, he was loaning. Because it's teaching me a sense of responsibility. Go and work and return my money. And I did exactly that. So have umuntu wazi ukuthi it's a go-to person. Ufike umchazele uthi, because you need to conquer your fears. But the person is a person who's not scared of your fears. Don't into isabayo when wazi kahle ukuthi usizanele akayisabi. Uzokusiza akakutshela ukuthi how to overcome that. Kodwa ukuhlala under the shadow of fear and think you're not going to come out of it, you'll die without fulfilling all your dreams and your aspirations. Ziphushe, and the sky is the limit. Also, it also checks and evaluates your strength. You won't see how powerful you are up until you push yourself, throw yourself into the deep end. I mean, it works for me. Now I'm going to make a shopping center. What is a shopping center? I don't know. But believe you me, the day I finish that shopping center, I'll feel like a different woman. And people will think, it's because he has sponsor. My time is money. Every minute of my time must make money for me. So I think you should wear ponds and swim, find your way out. Then, yes, and then you feel good to take another bigger challenge again. Thank you.
Thank you, sis. Yes, ma'am.
Sanbonan. My name is Londi T. I work as a radio presenter. I work at Esay Radio. Esay Radio is an online radio station. I do a show called Women's Therapy. And that's the reason I'm here today, just to take few points as well, because ever since I've started, I've realized that, people see me as like their role model, especially women. You will find that abantu besifazane, they will come to me and thank me without me even noticing that I'm helping someone out there. So I try by all means to talk to abantu besifazane in order for us to grow and connect and break the cycle of umuntu wesifazane, hleze sibukelana phansi, hleze sigxekana, hleze sisho izinto ezingekho right to one another. So that's what my show is doing. And you'll find ukuthi abantu, they will send me, like women will send me inboxes on my Facebook, saying, let's say maybe I was hosting someone on my show and they will think that maybe Nami, I even have experience of what they were talking about. So they will just try and find help from me. So I am very grateful though for the platform that I have to actually be out there and help women. So then being in the entertainment industry, sis Jacinta, it's very hard, especially since Umam Zanele Mbokazi so glamour, so a slave queen, and I'm not saying that I am, but that's how they define us, young women. And then if you find that you want to go out there and find help as being in the entertainment industry, they will say, in order for you to get help. And Usis Jacinta said that shouldn't be the case, and now I stand for that. That shouldn't be the case at all. As young women, we should be able to do our own things. As young women, we should be able to stand our ground and say and know our worth. That's the reason I'm here, just to find out what is exactly that we as young women are worth, you know? That's, what do these men see in us that they want to destroy? Because I feel like that's just what they want to do to us. So yeah, being here today, I feel like I'm getting so much information, and also I want to learn how to make like my own money, because you know money is important. We might find ourselves doing all these things and everything, but at the end of the day, you know, it's also important to have money. So yeah, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I just want to take, if there's any one more person, because we are going to be wrapping up now. Is there one more person who has a question? Okay. Hello, Sissy.
I just want to break the fear.
Excellent. Yeah.
Nothing,
Break the fear.
nothing much, just to break the fear.
Yes.
I have people that I honor in front of me a lot. They say you must be successful until you don't have to introduce yourself. I feel it's them. I've had difficulties with climbing the ladder, or yes, I should put it that way. I'm employed by eThekwini municipality, but I've always had small business, renting out properties. That I've always had a dream to make it big, but I'm having challenges to grow there or to nurture that small baby of mine. So I'm hoping, I came here hoping to have, not that I haven't gained anything from you, but I'm just saying the reason that brought me here, to get that strength again. With the pandemic, I lost what I thought was growing. But with God's help, because I'm employed, I'm surviving, I'll put it that way. But I'm just here I want to step up a bit. I know I am somewhere moving slowly, but I came here to just step up and get advice. That's what I want to say. I love women a lot. I know when they are together, they can make something.
Yeah.
They can cook
Can
a
I
pot.
ask you a direct question?
Yes.
What are you struggling with in your business?
As I'm saying, okay, at the moment.
What are you struggling with in your business?
Okay, I have a property company
Okay.
that is not growing.
Okay.
Yeah, that is just not growing.
Why is it not growing?
It's registered.
It's registered. Why is
Yes.
it not growing?
Challenges.
Challenges.
Yes.
What are the challenges?
I think maybe I have it.
Ngiyambona uyangidinga.
I had no. I'm answering you.
Ngiyambona uyangidinga.
I'm answering. Yes, I need you.
Ngiyambona uyangidinga.
I need you.
I think
That's-
ngizomthatha lo abe ngibe ucoach wakhe nje ngimsize from this class. I'm gonna give you a free session. I don't do it for free, guys. I've paid my dues. My coaching sessions are not for free anymore. I'm gonna give you a free coaching session and take you there, because I think, you see, if ungakwazi ukuyibiza ngegama, if ungakazi ukuthi yini inkinga ngeke uze uyisolve, we need to take you back, sit down with you, find what is the problem, and then we'll have you won't have a solution if you don't know what is the problem. Hlala phansi.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Usungitholile. I just want to say, as we are coming to the end of this session, I want to go back to investing in yourself. If you are not going to invest in yourself, you guys who are here today, I appreciate you. You ladies who are watching us from wherever you are, you're sitting in your bed, in your bedroom, in your car, kitchen, wherever you are, you have invested your time. And for that, you have taken the first step towards success. Investing, there are people who will always complain, but they will never invest their time. Just coming here means a lot. Just watching means a lot. So that is the first thing. Two, make sure that we call it ABL, always, be always learning, BAL, be always learning. You have to learn. It doesn't stop. Learning is not about a degree. It's not about a diploma. It's about learning every day. It's about making yourself better every day. So on that note, also, when it comes to making money, I can't overemphasize it. I've had some people saying it doesn't work. You cannot survive today on one income stream. Umrholo wodwa. You cannot. You need to know what are other. Guys, I am telling you the truth. There are businesses we can do without laying out any capital. Engadingi uqale ngemali. You know what? Kuwena. Ngicela ukubana bakwazi ukupheka. Abathi ngiyalishaya ibhodo. Do you know how much you can make? Do you know we can turn that knowledge into money? Have you seen people bepheka ku Facebook? Bepheka ku Facebook ibenze malini? I'm making a lousy practical example. So I want to, as we are ending, I want to invite you on Thursday night, I think at 7, but you will get it on my Facebook page tomorrow, a link. Come to a webinar because we will be having 5 different people giving you opportunities of starting something, of making money. How can you as a woman make money? Different things, and you choose. If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. Wherever I go, I don't fish for clients because, let me tell you the truth, I have coached 114 people up to today. Only 4 are people that I know. All the others are from Swaziland, are from Botswana, are from London. You know what? Stop begging your friends and your neighbors for business. Stop. Maybe ngithengi kulungile. In fact, I don't market like haya. Angikaze ngicela interview Jacinta because that's not my market. It's okay if beza, but I'm saying not Gabi, but I'm saying that's another limitation. Abathengi kumina, abafuna ukungisupport. Hey. The world has more than 7 billion people. Your client is somewhere. I have never, I'm being honest. In fact, there's only one from Durban that I've coached. Only one from Durban. And bonke, ever sithanda, senze izinto nabo, but I have never even marketed myself to them. Why? There are 7 billion people in the world. Yeka lento yakho yokuthi abantu abakusupport. Ngqongqoza kweminye iminyango nakwamanye amazwe. We have the internet. We are globally connected now. You don't need to service only people in Mlazi or Kamashu. You can talk to people in Australia and work with them. Okay? So I'm inviting you to that webinar. I will put a link on my Facebook page tomorrow. Please attend to that. See what other people are saying. But secondly, I want to challenge the ladies I'm with today. I would love to organize a session on opportunities within construction. How do we start? What do we do? What are the challenges? Sifayile senzeni. Bakhona abahalelayo ukuthola izinto zaka construction. Angizwa bangcwele. Thobe, I would love to have a webinar. If you want to invite somebody else in your space, please by all means. I would love to have something on oil, the oil industry. How do we amagaraji thina sifuna uku-own igaraji nathi ngelinye ilanga or sifuna uku-distribute petrol or whatever. What are the opportunities in the value chain? How do people do? I mean, you know the drill. So I would love that essay where we are just focusing on the industry. Even if you just tell people, does it make money? If I have a makaraja of 5, does it really make me money? You know, when petrol goes up and down, does it make a difference?
Yes.
So we would like to see that.
Absolutely.
We see the trucks. So now, ladies, from now on, when you see my trucks are KZN oils and so on, we know her. It's our business. Jacinta, young people, young girls, even older people, they always love to be in the entertainment industry. Not just being on radio, but television, acting, and. And I think I would love to do something on that. You and I can talk about that and coordinate if you want to invite 2 more people so that we have the people in the other spaces. And again, we talk about this. What I love in everything I do, I love being so practical. At the end of the day, it can't be theory. It has to be very practical. So, guys, if you want to be out of debt, to learn how to get out of debt, but also to see opportunities, do come on Thursday to that webinar. It's not live. You don't have to come. You sit at home at 7 p.m. Just make sure that you have data on your cell phone or your laptop. Okay, so it's a webinar. It's not live. And then these others, I will tell you what dates I'm going to be doing them. I do these quite a lot. I've just done the goats one. So we will be doing farming again, I think next week, Monday. It's again farming. There's money there as well. In conclusion from me, in order for you to have what you've never had, you've got to be prepared to do what you've never done before. Let me say it again. In order for you, after everything has been said here, somebody is saying, I've never invested, I have never started a business, I have never done this. In order for you to have what you have never had before, you need to be prepared to do what you've never done before. If you've never spent 20,000 rand, spend it this time. If you've never knocked at doors while library, do it. You have to do that. The fear kills many dreams. Fear is a killer of so many dreams. A lot of people who are so rich, that is why the graveyard, Amatuna, are called the richest place on earth. Because there are so many people who die having not fulfilled their dreams. They had a song that they did not sing. They had a book they did not write. They had a job, they had a business they did not start. Okay? So fear, kill fear. Pumalana namhlanje uthi, if they did it, we are not special. I am celebrating 20 years at the end of this year in business. I am not special. Ngibhedile ngonibhalale encwadini nizoyithola. Ngibhedile ngenza imbhede eningi. I failed. I had to rise up. I messed up many times. You know, I made mistakes. I had wrong people. I was stabbed. I was everything. But after 20 years, guys, come on, I'm wiser. Angeke usangibamba manje. Angeke. I'm wiser now. I'm wiser how to run a business. Ngibhede kakhulu 20 years kumina. Amfana ngibhedile. But ngaphila, ngavuka, ngawa, ngavuka kwalunga, kwabheda. You know? So I'm saying to you, if fear will not take you anywhere, uzofa kuphele kanjalo, what legacy are you leaving behind? What legacy? Your kids will say, how come Umam Thobe? Ma, how old are you? You have 24 hours a day, everyone. Umam Thobe is your age. How come she's achieved so much? I know our dynamics are fun, ending in a shallow example, but I'm just saying, wena wasala kanjani ontanga yenu subakhomba umntana wami loyo ngiyamazi loyo wena wasala kanjani ayishintshe leyo nto today phuma la uyothi nami ngiyaqala ngiyanyakazisa igodlo ngiyaqala ngiyayithunduza ngifuna usizo and then knock at the right doors. Find a mentor. You can't afford a coach, find a mentor. A mentor will, most of the mentors sometimes they won't even charge you. But uyihambile le ndlela ufuna ukuyihamba mawufuna ukuba uplumber funa imentor eyiplumber ene experience basically kwi mentorship ufuna umuntu one experience yalento oyifunayo akazi ukukunika ama answers kodwa uzokuguide akutshela but if you're looking for a mentor don't waste other people's time because that's another thing umuntu avuma ukuba imentor yakho bese wena uyamdraina ufika uzocomplaina every day you're not doing your part. It's very important. Ladies, I know we are but 1 minute each of us as a parting shot, please. Just 1 minute, parting shot.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. One message from me is that satisfaction is an enemy of growth. Never be too comfortable. Dare yourself to always dream because dreaming keeps you alive. I wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
So, ladies and all the ladies listening out there, I always believe that we play it forward, and that is very important because the more you give, the more you get. So I want to challenge you ladies that's sitting here today. If you all have any businesses that you all are starting up and that you all want to start up or that you all are stuck, as much as Mom Zanele said that she would go and do some training with you all, I also want to put out there that I would like to meet with you all. If you all have companies that can offer services to my company, that's a challenge out there.
Come on, guys.
So if we ever come back and the challenge you put out there that we want to see who succeeds after this session, that's the challenge I put out there.
Did you hear that? She is opening up her company. She's saying, if you have a business, if you have anything that you can supply to her business, she's willing to assist you, ladies, for coming here. Wow. Wow.
So- Sorry, also remember that if you don't have your documents in order, I would help you.
Sis,
I just want to say today's session was about wealth and self-worth. Now, wealth, the definition of it is an abundance of something or money. It does not say money. So money is not where the wealth comes from. You can have a wealth of knowledge, wealth of wisdom, wealth of experience. It's what you do with the wealth that you have that ultimately determines who you are. And that's where your self-worth comes in. And another thing is, nobody in the world will ever give you your self-worth. It's called self for a reason. It means when nobody's looking and you have to talk to yourself and answer questions to yourself about yourself, you need to say, that was right, that was wrong, and you need to be proud of yourself. A lot of women, they're sitting on social media watching today. Some of you invest so much of your time sitting and watching other people's lives and then commenting negatively about it and trying to put other people down. It's always been said before, trying to dim someone else's lights will never make yours shine brighter. In fact, it'll just make you even more of a dull person. So the best thing that you can do, one of the things that I feel I must highlight today, is that sitting with women like this is something that I feel has grown me as a person. The spirit is a humility, so many of us come into the industry, we say, I want to be Jacinta Ngobese because I want to be the boss. But in Zanele, give her her place, give her her space. Know that she's the queen in race. She's been there before me. Angisho ukuthi it's because ngizibukela phansi. But you are learning things from people who've been there before you because it can only help you and grow you. And learning to celebrate other people can only make you a better woman. So I just want to celebrate you ladies here and say you are all so wonderful, so amazing. I'm so grateful to even have the opportunity to be here. I don't know if I deserve it, but I'm humbled. And I just want to say thank you all so much. And thank you guys so much.
The very last one for me, guys. Ladies, just remember, today was about self-worth. In each and every one of you sitting here, you may not have millions in your bank account, but you matter. You matter. You are you. There is something in you. The challenge is to go to find that. Your gifts, your talents, they will never be the same with the next person next to you. So have to find what is it that God has deposited inside you and make that work for you. You can monetize your gift. You can monetize your knowledge. You can monetize even your dream these days. Find people who are going to help you to do exactly that. Wealth, as Jacinta has just said, means more than money. Health is also wealth. Let's look after ourselves, especially during this time of COVID. Let's take good care of ourselves. Other than that, I cannot put down this microphone having not said that at the end of the day, faith will seal it all. A woman who walks with God, akahlulwa yilutho. Ekuqaleni khona uJehova, ekugcineni khona uJehova. May God bless you. And to the Playhouse Company, once again, Thandekile and the team, Cecilia Ndabukosini, the CEO of the Playhouse Company, and everyone else who's been running around to make sure this happens. We really appreciate you. We applaud you. And Woman to Woman 2021 was an amazing, amazing success because of all of you. Thank you to my amazing panelists. Thank you guys for your wisdom. We shall meet again. We shall meet again. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. God bless.